Hello, welcome to the Pornoco channel, and you're also welcome to another Flutterflow tutorial. This is always a place where you get to learn everything no code and how to get started without knowing how to build anything to that point where you know how to build stuff. You know, if you're somebody who want to take it further with no code, feel free to join my free community. We're using the link below. It's free, and I'll send you emails of new things that I discover in the world of no code every single week. Today, I'm going to be teaching you about transactional and marketing emails. You know, how to set up email marketing in your Flutterflow application. So I know a lot of people don't really feel like it's a cool thing. You know, they want to learn about every single thing, but when it comes to email and marketing, they don't really want to learn about it. The thing is that if you do not understand how to market your application, it's going to be so hard for you to keep being motivated. It's going to be so hard for you to make anything of what you've built. You can learn how to build the most fancy app in the world, but if there's nothing, you don't have any marketing, tactics, or you don't have any marketing strategy, it's going to be really terrible for you at the end of the day. So one thing that I need you to understand is that it's not about building a lot. It's not about building all the fancy stuff. It's also about learning how to turn what you've built into something that people need, getting your app or your mobile application to in front of a user. And one way to do that is to use email marketing, right? Email marketing is very cool because every single person have emails. We all have emails. I have an email. I have a Gmail. I have I have email for almost everything. And so I get routine emails from other startups that I've signed into, and I kind of click many times. Sometimes I don't, sometimes I do. But the thing about emails is that it increases your chances of success, right? Because you are really hoping that people will come to your app, they'll take an action, and they will pay. So what we're going to be using today, we're going to be using loops. Loops is an amazing email. So you say email marketing, email for modern software companies. But one thing about loops is that it combines sending marketing emails and transactional email all in one platform. Before loops, when you want to set up emails, right, you have to look for one email for marketing emails and another email for transactional emails. I know you might be asking, what's the difference between marketing emails and transactional emails? Okay, let's say it this way. Every email that has to do with money, it's transactional email. And every email that doesn't have anything to do with money, it's marketing email. Marketing emails, you're telling people about a new promotion, you're telling people about your company, you're telling them about something that you just started with. Those are marketing emails. But for transactional emails, you want to take people to where the money is. For example, when a person try to purchase your product and they don't complete the purchase, you send them an email. When they purchase their product, you send them an email. When you want to upsell to them, you send them an email. When their subscription is going to expire, you also send them an email. So these are sequence that you can basically use in your email. So it's super free, right? Especially if you're just getting started, you can see up to 1,000 contacts and it's free, up to 2,000 cents a month, full access to everything else. So you can use loops for free until you hit 1,000 contacts, and then you get to start paying $49 a month, right? So you might think that are there no other tools out there that I can use? Trust me, Loops is one of the most affordable tools you can find. I'm not bragging for them. I do not really have any affiliations with them, but I just want to say that it's very affordable even at this time. So how do you set it up? You go ahead and sign up. Right, you go ahead and sign up, and then once you sign up, it takes you to this dashboard right here. So I've set up a couple of stuff right here. It takes you here, and then you can now start creating stuff. You can create campaigns. Campaigns are for marketing. Loops for marketing, campaigns are for marketing. But what we're going to start from, transactional emails. So you have loops. Loops are emails that you send every single time. When a person joins a wait list, they're just loops. They're just stuff that happens every single time in your email sequence, right? But we're going to start from transactional emails. Right, so these are transactional emails right here: notifications, account creation, updates, authentication. These are account management emails. But when a person make a purchase, we want to send an email to them. When they create our account, we also want to send an email to them. When they authenticate, we want to send an email to them. When they update, we want to send an email to them. Remember, if you authenticate with some application, you just sign in with your email and password. They send you an email. Hello, thank you very much for signing in. If you're not the person who signed in, I want you to send me send an email to our support, and we're going to help you, right? So if you're just getting started, you can always go to the docs, right? It's very accessible, and most of the things I'm going to be showing you around, you're going to find it here. And also the CEO Chris is very he's very reachable, so you can actually do a live chat with Chris and he's going to answer. So this is Chris and Adam. They are the awesome guys behind Loops, so they're going to answer you. So let's get started with creating some emails here. So what you want to do is to go to settings, right? When you get to settings, you want to, add your domain, right? Super awesome. You add your domain name. So if you say view record, it's going to tell you to put all of these things, all of these things on your domain, all of these things on your account, right? You can always check out the docs on how to do this. It's right here on the doc. I think it should be around adding your domain on the doc. Gonna find it, but it's somewhere around the doc and you can always check it out. And so once you add your domain, you come back here and you want to check out all the things. So there is notifications, there is tracking if you want it to be tracked, like you want to track email opens, clicks and all that. And also there are events, right? You can create events that you want to track. So for example, if a person does something in your event, you want to check it out. If a person has not opened their email for the past 7 days, you want to check it out. So those are things you want to check. But the most important part that we're interested in is this API. So we're interested in this API key, right? And also contact properties, right? So the app I'm creating, I have first name, I have last name, I have emails, I have notes, I have source where it's coming from, where this traffic is coming from, user group, user ID, these are just stuff that I created myself. So I'm going to explain them. I'm going to explain some of the things that you have to know. Source, like I said before, is where the email is coming from. User group, right? So you can group your users when doing email marketing based on where they are, right? Say for example, I have 3 payment plan, and I can say first plan is basic, second plan is premium, and third plan is gold. So I could group my users based on plan, and I can also group my users based on activity, right? So maybe I have very active users, I have less active users, and I have not active at all. So I can group my users based on activity, and it'll be fine also. And these ones are default, like created, subscribe. These are just, default. And these are stuff that you can change as you go. So but we're interested in this API key. This is what we're very much interested in. So when we go to Flutterflow application, so this is my Flutterflow application, and this is where I want to put my first loop. Once the person create the account, the first action, I'll go to my API segment, and I'm just going to create a group API call, and I'll call it loops, right? And I'm going to add any base URL right there. I'm going to add the base URL. Yes, I should. So I'm going to come back here and go to I'll come back here and I'll go to settings right there. And I'm going to go to transactional email. I'll create new, and I would say account creation. Right, I just want you to follow me through. I'll say account creation, and you can click more to see where it's coming from. Reply, email, from who's coming from, and the email that it's going to be coming from, right? So I'm going to say paulnocode@gmail.com. So you can turn this to anything, right? It can be James, it can be Jane, any email is fine. And I'm going to say account created. And one thing that you can use this for, you can use this to send pin codes if you want to, right? You can use it to send pin codes if you want to. I would say hey, and I'll put a, don't worry, let's not put any data variable. It's fine. I'll say hey, thank you for creating an account. You are welcome to Bree Notes. So that's the name of the app, Bree Note AI. It's awesome. to have you use our product. So this is just something that I would send. I would say my name is Paul, and I would say from Brinote AI. So this is not the best email in the world. So if you want to learn how to create email, there's a free service here called emailmastery.org. Come here and just click on these emails and you'll get real cool marketing ideas, content teardowns of some of your favorite products on how they create emails for their brand, right? That's what you want to do. Don't follow this email that I just created. It's not really going to bring you so much money, right? And then once you're cool with that, you can actually send a preview. So I'm going to send a preview right here, and I'll open it. So you can see this is a preview of what my users will get. Hey, thank you for creating an email. Your account on Brainer AI created. So this is what they will get. And you can see the from James at no code, right? And you can see where it's coming. You can see the name of the business, Paul No Code, right? So we can come back here and create a few things, like probably the name of my app is Brainote AI, right? And then it's called James, cool. And then once I'm cool with that, I would say next, but I can put some touches, if I want to, but I don't really care about that. I'm gonna say next, and then it's gonna bring me this. So this is the most important thing that I need: my transactional ID and my email, right? This is the most important thing that I need. This is what I need to send this. So, and this is the post URL, and you can see it's a post request to this endpoint with authentication, right? This is the endpoint. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to Flutterflow. Don't worry, I'm just going to lose this, cancel this, and I'm just going to add a create API call. I'm going to say authentication, email, and it's a post request, remember? And this is where we are, transaction. And then I'm going to come back here now. I'm going to come back here. So if you want to read more, you can click right here, right? For us to read more. So you can see your loops API key should not be used, blah, blah. Let's go find our. So this is an event. This is exactly what they're asking you to do. Make a post like this. That's just what they're asking you to do and nothing else. So we're going to come here and copy, right? Come here, copy, and then we'll go to Flutterflow, put it in the body. It's going to be a JSON and paste like this. Format. So let's see if there's going to be a response. Invalid API key. So we'll come back here and then we'll put inside our header. First, we need to add our content type. Content/type. That will be application/JSON. And then we'll add our API key. So remember, when we were creating this, we said our API key is right here. So I'm going to find our API key right here. It's in our settings, and then we'll go to API and copy it. So after adding my content type, I'm going to put my API key, and then it's going to be authentication like this. Here, and my API key. So I'm going to try for another response. Invalid API key. Okay, so I'm gonna go find the doc. So the doc here says authorization, API key. This is the way it's supposed to be, Biera. So just copied this. I'll come back here. Come back to my Flutterflow and just, oh, I didn't spell my authorization very well. Okay, I spelled authentication instead of authorization. Okay. Authorization. So authorization. So let's go ahead and test our response. So no published email messages found for this transactional ID. Okay. Let's go back again. Transactional. So it's saying that the email is not published, so you can see it's draft now. So I'm going to copy it and next, publish. Yeah, didn't do that earlier. And then I'll come back here and I'll test my API key again, and it's going to be successful. So success is equal to true. If I come back here, I'm going to delete the previous one. If I come back here, and then we can, okay, this is the old one. So I'm going to go back again and try it out. And now we have the new one. So now we have from Bring.ai account creator, thank you. So we need to add some variable right here. And so I'll go back to my call definition. I'm going to put variable, and I'm going to say email. And it's going to be a string, of course. And I'm going to come back here and say, right here, I'm going to replace it with the email. Replace it with the email. Now. So I'm going to replace this with the email, and I'm going to format and come back here, and it's going to ask me for my email. My email again is still going to be notepad@gmail.com, and I'm going to test it out. So now it says success, right? That's the first thing to do, and this is true. So we just add our JSON part and would say success. Don't worry, it's fine. It's always going to be equal to true. Type, you just type anything, but it's fine. So we're just going to say add API call, and then we'll come back here and click on the create, and we're just going to add this. So I can create it. I'm going to add the API call right here. API call is going to be authentication, and then we're going to the response is going to be call loops call. It has the output variable. You can add the widget state, email address. That's it, and that's it. Nothing else. So what you do after this, just go ahead and run this, and it should work. So while we're running that, it's very good for you to carry your customers each step of the way, right? To understand that your customers need to be informed. So if you are running a product, or if you're building a product that requires your customers to know a lot of things along the way before they can take action. So it's cool that you send emails during the onboarding, but the thing is, don't make it too much. Right, you don't want to like send your emails, your customers like 10-20 emails as they go through the customer journey. Now instead, one is enough. I think once you go ahead and say, oh, account created, and then they finish all the onboarding, and now they are done with the onboarding, you want to send them another email to say, hello, welcome to this platform. I want to say thank you for signing up. You're awesome. My name is this, my name is that. So you just want to personalize it for them to understand that you are very, very happy to see them use your application, right? That's just something you want to do, that you're very happy to see them use your application, but you just want to personalize this to, put a face to the app that you're creating. Okay, so I'm going to sign in now. I'm going to sign in. Hopefully, I'm not going to have that. So I'm going to sign in with a different email entirely, with this email, right? Or I'm going to sign in with another email, so we're able to see that it works. And this is design.millimile.com, and this is me. I'm going to sign in right here. This is the email. So my password, just going to put any password of my choice. Then I'm going to say create account. So once I click on create account, this should get, can you see it? You should get an email. Hello, thank you for creating an account. You should get an email immediately from the app telling me I've created an account. So you can see that's the way transactional emails work. That's the way they work. You can do this every single time for subscription and everything in between. But another type of email, like we saw, is that part where we get to create campaigns. Right, so you can see metrics over here, so you can also measure, so you can see how many times I've sent it. The deliverability is 100%, and then we can come back here and just create campaigns. So when we say campaigns like this, you're adding people to a particular type of stuff. You're adding people to a particular campaign whenever an action is created. Say for example, this is a template, right? When this content is added, you're going to do something. You can see when contact is updated, when the invite to upgrade, these are just different parts of the app. So you can see there are some Stripe hooks here. When payment is successful, you want to do this. When payment fail, you want to do this. So we're going to say when contact is added. This is a template, but you can create your own campaign, right? When a contact is added, right, to what? When a contact is added, what do you want to do when a contact is added? So you want to wait for like 3 minutes, right? And then you want to this is an audience filter, but it doesn't have to be there, right? It doesn't have to be there. And then you can create an email, right? When a contact is added to a particular loop, right, to a particular campaign group, we can create an email. So this could be welcome to BrainNote, right, AI, right? Welcome to BrainNote AI, and the subject line, welcome to, hey new user, like welcome new user, right? So super happy to see you sign up to BrainNote. Why are you using our applications? And nobody's going to ask this type of question, but it's just something to think about. So I'm just going to say Paul BrainNote AI. Right, BrainNote AI. So that's the only thing I have to do, right? And that's just it, right? Don't have to do anything else. If I'm comfortable with what I've done, I could send a preview to this email, but I don't want to. I'm very comfortable with what I've created, and that's just it. So I'll come back here once I'm done with that. Just hit the back button. Now we can see this, right? And we can start. But the thing is that, say, contacts here have been added via the API integration. This is an automatic trigger and nothing is being configured, right? So whenever a contact is added, so you're thinking like, okay, I think I'm using this email I'm going to use this loop setup for only a particular application. That's the only thing I'm going to use this loop setup for. But the thing is, if you're going to be using it for more, you can create audience, right? So I'm just going to click on start. Right, it's active now. So audience right here. So you can see my audience right here, right? So I can create a filter, right? This is segment, right? I can create a filter, right? If the source is equal to loop, right? You find it here, right? So if I want to send to a different person, user group, if the user group itself is equal to loops, right? I can create a filter. How do I add a user group? I know this is getting pretty long, but I just like it when you understand everything. So if I come back to my API, right, you can see user group right here. This is the user group right here. You can see it here, and I can go back to my loops again. Go back to my loops. Go back to my loop. This is the welcome to BrainNote, and I can add a feature build, right? I can add a pause, right? I can pause it, queue contact, click on the plus. So I can add an audience filter right here. I would say filter audience, edit audience, add feature, when user group equals to loops, right? So only audience where the user group is equal to loops, those are the ones I'm going to send to, right? The name of my is going to be loops BrainNote. That's going to be the name of this. I'm going to say finish. So what this means is that whenever I'm sending this email, I'm going to pass a source, and that source is going to be called loops. So if that source is equal to loops, then this email is going to send. But if it's not equal to loops, it's not going to send, right? So we're done. We'll go back. So we added a feature here already when user group is equal to loops. And then now we can resume this, right? We can resume this, and then we can go back. Now we can create a campaign now, right? We can create a campaign now, or we can create a campaign, we can trigger the campaign, we can send the email, we can do anything we want to do, anyhow we want to do it, right? So when we send an email, we just pass in the campaign, we just pass in the source of the campaign and say, hey, this user group is equal to loops. So for example, we can go to the doc, and we'll be able to figure out how to add a source. So we can add a question here. How do I pass source, or how do I pass a user group to my API? So you can see, you can include the user group feed in your API request, right? Can you see how it is? So we're just going to copy this. Right? This is the way the API request will look like, but we just need to add your first name, user group. That's the only thing we need to add to it. So I'm going to copy this, right? Just the user group only, and I'll come back here. And I'll go to my API call. I'll go back to my API call, and I'm going to go to the body. Okay, this is my API call. I'll go to the body, and I'm going to put a comma here, and I'll pass this user group over here. And this user group, I'm going to call it loops. That's the name of the user group right there. Format, and I'm going to test it over again. So can you see? It's successful and it's true. So if that's true and it's successful, then our account should fire, right? So I'm going to delete this. I'm going to go to pull no code. So can you see it? 0 minutes to go. Thank you. Welcome to Pinot. It's awesome to have you use our product. Okay, can you see it? So this is 0 minutes after now, right? So if that happens, then our account should fire. Why? Because we're now part of that group. So no, sorry, we're supposed to receive 2 emails. So this is 1 email, right? Because we sign up. So the other email is also going to come because we triggered that, we added to that user group, right? So if we go back to our loops again, right? We told it to wait for 1 minute. So you know it's active, right? Metrics. We told you to wait for just 1 minute, right? We told you to wait for 1 minute, and then say wait 3 minutes, and after 3 minutes, then the loop is going to be completed. Do you understand? And so another thing too is that we can also create campaigns. So this is like some sort of a like a cool tutorial that's getting longer and longer. So we can create campaigns too, like new campaigns, right? So this is you just creating a campaign, a marketing campaign now. So you're not sending anything from an API. You're just creating this new campaign, and you say maybe happy Easter. So we're very close to Easter. Just creating this. Hope you are having a beautiful Easter, right? And then we'll add a whole lot of stuff, what to say. Don't know what to say on this one, so I'm going to use a lot of lorem ipsum right here. Right, and also you can also personalize it. But it's my email. Okay, so this is it here. You can also personalize it, like hey, and you're adding this. You know, when you click this, it adds the first name. Fallback option, it's nothing, right? Missing fallback option there. So hey there. So in case there's no first name, this user has no first name, and then would say Brainout James, Brainout AI. So we're good, and then we'll say we're just going to preview, click on the email as usual, and then we'll come back here, and we should see that we're going to get, so you can see lorem ipsum, right? And then we will come back here. Where is it again? We'll come back here, and then we can say next, right? And then it's going to ask us who exactly do you want to send this to, right? Who do you want to send this to? So I can add a feature, or I can send it to everybody if I want to, right? So this is basically the way you do this. This is how you do this, and this is how you would get to use loops to set things up. So I hope I've been able to show you around loops. So if you're new to this, you can always reach out. You can always reach out. But if you have questions, you can leave it in the chat, and I'll do well to answer you. Wasn't hoping that this was gonna be this long, but I just like teaching and showing you, especially if there's trouble for me, I'll let you know. If it's something I'm able to do, I'll definitely let you know. So thank you very much for watching today. Really appreciate your time. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment or your feedback if you have one. And also, I'm also open for projects. You're looking forward to launching your own no-code application or fixing, adding features to your current no-code application, feel free to reach out to me. You're looking for advice, reach out to me, and I'll do well to help you out. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you around.